Good day, this is Sister Anastasia with more wonderful words of life. Today we continue looking at the women of the Bible. We go to Judges chapter 4 as we look at Deborah, woman of war. The children of Israel did evil in the sight of God. God turned them over to King Jabin, a Canaanite king. The commander of his army was Sisera. His army was massive and he ruthlessly oppressed the people of Israel for 20 years. The Israelites cried out to God for help. Deborah was the judge over the Israelite people. At the time, they did not have a king. She ruled over the people in their disputes and prophesied of God's deliverance to the people. She was the spokesperson for God and encouraged the people to return to the Lord. Deborah was the wife of Lapidoth. She became a foot soldier as she called upon Barak to take 10,000 men of the tribes of Naphtali and Zebulun to wage strategic war against Sisera, the commander of the Canaanite army. She planned to lure Sisera into a trap for Barak to have the advantage and defeat him. Barak responded that he would only go if Deborah went with him into the battlefield. On that day, Deborah took on another role, that of a warrior. Not only was she the anointed prophetess declaring God's word to the people, encouraging them to live for God. Not only was she the judge over the people, ruling in their matters and their disputes and declaring decisive justice to the people as it related to their matter. Not only was she full of wisdom and knowledge of the law, she on that day became a woman of war. Today, I wish that the Deborahs in us would arise. When I look at the state of our nation, we need some Deborahs who will stand in the gap for our nation, who will stand in the gap for other women, who would stand in the gap for children, our school-age population, women who know how to intercede on behalf of the youths, elderly, on behalf of our nation's leaders. I call forth some mature women who do not mind evolving and becoming preachers and teachers and evangelists, foot soldiers and warriors in the battlefield of prayer. I'm calling out wise and strong, decisive women who know their God and are willing to do great exploits on His behalf. Judges 4:14 and 15. Then Deborah said to Barak, "Go, this is the day the Lord has given Sisera into your hands. Has not the Lord gone ahead of you?" So Barak went down Mount Tabor with 10,000 men following him. At Barak's advice, the Lord routed Sisera and all his chariots and army by the sword, and Sisera got down from his chariot and fled on foot. I read that from the NIV version of the Bible. He went to seek refuge in the tent of Jael. He asked for water, she gave him milk. She hid him with a blanket and told him not to fear. He told her how to look out for the men that sought to kill him, and she agreed. She then went quietly, took a nail and drove the nail into his temple, and so he died. Today I'm calling out women who would be fearless in the battlefield of prayer against the enemy until we see his kingdom fall. Nehemiah 4:14, and I'm reading from the New Living Translation. Then as I looked over the situation, I called together the nobles and the rest of the people and said to them, don't be afraid of the enemy. Remember the Lord, who is great and glorious, and fight for your brothers, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your homes. Women of war, rise up and fight in the battlefield of prayer. God bless you.